Hello, my horde, and welcome to an interesting little video. I want to do this one because I like numbers. Numbers are fun. And yeah, I was going to do this one by myself, but realized that if I did it by myself, it would be kind of silly because then Tammy couldn't ask questions, she couldn't reply, and I don't have anyone else here, with the lockdown and everything like that, so Tammy is kind of the best option. So, I know you're the best option of you, but you are the best option nonetheless. She just gave me a thumbs up. So, I'm going to go over a bunch of weird statistics from my channel. So the first one is the top 10 videos to date. I guess I should explain how I'm going to be doing this. This is 4 months into my YouTube channel. I should have done this last month. And I'll probably be doing it 2 months from now, and then again after that it'll be every 3 months or 90 days. So we'll try to get that to work. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Okay. So the top 10 as of this point. And when I do this next time, it'll be the top 10 in the last 90 days and the lifetime top 10. We'll probably do that, So, the top... Do you want me to go from 10 to number 1?
Sure.
Okay. So before we actually go into it, there's actually 5 videos. There are 5 videos. So number 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They all have 12 views.
Okay.
So I had brought that up because, if it was just, 11 through 14, it wouldn't have been a problem, but yeah, it's 10 to 14. So YouTube says that it's one video that is actually classified as my top 10. So I'm classifying that one as my top 10, but I'll bring up the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions is Podcast 6, Favorite Films, Podcast 3, Favorite Video Games, Podcast 7, James Bond, and Podcast 2, Wrestling. However, what YouTube states is my 10th most viewed one is Would You Rather Tammy, Part 2.
It's weird that it's Part 2.
Yeah, that's where a lot of this gets weird when you look at it. So the next one, number 9, that had 12 views, just for the record. Number 9 is podcast number 8, Paper and Dice, with 13 views. Number 8 is podcast number 1, 2020, part 3. Because that one was put into 3 parts.
Okay, yeah.
Which had 15 views. The next one, which I really should have had a pencil, because I'm going to try to remember what number I'm on. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, number 7. Okay, then I remember. Is the channel update for February. With 16 views. The one after that is the podcast number 5. Favorite TV shows. With 16 views. Number 5 is podcast number 4.
I see a pattern.
Saturday Side, a video game, with 18 views. The 4th one is podcast number 9.
Okay.
10.
Maybe not so pattern.
It's yours. It's your podcast.
Why?
I don't know. It's the 4th most viewed one on the channel. With 19.
I feel somewhat popular.
The next one is channel summary, which is like the video that is on the main page, which I would expect that one to have the most views. For anyone that goes to the page, it kind of sometimes autoplays. But that one only has 19 views as well. The next one, at number 2, Nico, please don't, is Would You Rather Robert, with 20 views. And with a staggering 32 views, the most viewed one on my channel is podcast number 1, 2020, part 1. So people just skipped over part 2. I think it's the longest of the 3 parts, too. So they just watched the shorter 2 parts.
Odd.
The next is, I have, apparently, as of last night, around 2:30 in the morning, so when I did this, I thought it was fitting, seeing how I think that's when I roughly released the first podcast at some stupid hour. I think it was like 10 or 11 at night. Anyway, so I have about 424 views over all my stuff.
Okay.
117 of those are from Canada. The other, whatever number, because I'm not going to do math, I think it's like 307. It doesn't say.
Unknown.
So it must be that whoever else is watching must have themselves set as private stuff.
From parts unknown.
Because the next couple things proves that is the case. The age of the viewers, listeners, wherever way you want to go with it, are the age of 25 to 34. 100% of them.
Odd.
Yeah. And the next one is that my audience is 100% male. So that means like you and any other female that has watched the videos has privacy settings. So that
I don't remember setting privacy settings for gender. I'll have to look into that.
Because yeah, that's exactly so I thought that was amusing. I also found out that 305 of my views come from mobile phones.
Okay.
62 of them come from computers.
Okay.
36 of them come from game consoles. So people watching via the Xbox or the PlayStation. 13 of them come from a TV. So that would be like
a smart TV?
Yeah, it would be a smart TV.
Weird.
Yep.
Okay.
And 8 of them come from a tablet.
Odd.
So I wonder what our TV's thing's classified. Because it should be it should be a phone, or a tablet. Could actually be me. The tablet could be some me. I don't know. If you watch, actually, you know what? Because I'm actually going over random things. If you're watching this and want to comment on which platform do you watch primarily my videos from. So, the next thing I'm going to go over is the most viewed days.
Okay. So,
going from the least to most again, March 21st. There's very little significant value to a lot of these days. Some of them do have something, but nonetheless. On March 21st, I had 12 views. On March 21st, those 12 views primarily came from Would You Rather Tammy Part 2. Which
that's weird. It was a Saturday.
Which Would You Rather Tammy Part 2 came out on February.
Why was I popular on
the 28th? So it's like, for some reason, just a group of people started watching that video a bit later. On the next one is February 6th with 13. That one had podcast 4 and podcast number 1, part 1. People just started watching that one. In January, on the 29th, I had 13 views. And that one was the Star Trek Picard. And podcast 3 is what people were watching that day.
Okay.
On March 11th, I had 15 views. And that was podcast number 9, Tammy. Was what they were watching. Which came out on that day.
Okay.
So, People were actually watching that one as of that day. On February 20th, this one was the weird one. Podcast number 6, 5, and 4. So someone was catching up. Plus 6 other videos at 1 view each. So someone just like watched like hardcore a bunch of videos that day. I guess catching up.
I mean, they probably had time at that point.
That was 16 views on that day, on February 20th. In case I didn't say that. On January 15th, which also had 16 views, which is the first real day that I got views from like major views. That one was podcast number 1, mostly part 1. It had 13 views for part 1, 2 views for part 2, and 1 view for part 3.
I'm sensing a pattern that it's usually the day that it comes out.
That one, yeah. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like months later. Like it actually.
Oh no, I get that.
Because there's actually one of them which is coming up, which is really just crazy. So on the January 21st, the channel summary and podcast number 1. So 6 days after podcast number 1 came out, a bunch of people started watching it again. And on January 21st, which is that day, 18 views I got from that day. On March 6th, I got 21 views, which came from Would You Rather, Tammy, Would You Rather, Chris, podcast number 8, Paper and Dice. And I think that's roughly when Chris's would have came out. But yours came out like a week before. Yeah, it would have been Chris's that came out. Yeah. And yours came out a week before. Actually, your part 2, yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. And the other Paper and Dice here. Do I have it written down? Yeah, came out on 2 days before. So April 22nd, I had 26 views. This is the most, like, I have one more, but it's crazy that it's April, because, like, my views dropped hard in April and May, but then this day just, like, came back. This one, I got Broken Video, the Broken Video one, podcast number 15, Robert GM Stories, and 17 videos that had 1 view each. So again, it seems like another day that someone was trying to catch up.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
The last day is Would You Rather... The last day is February 24th with 32 views. It was Would You Rather Robert and Channel Update. Which Would You Rather Robert came out 3 days before. And the Channel Update, I don't remember. It was for February, I think, which came out 3 days before.
Well, that's definitely some weird numbers and weird dates with times. And especially when it was, like, just one person doing, like, catch-up, it seems.
I assume it's one person when it's 17 videos with 1 view each.
Yeah.
But then there was a bunch of them that had, like, a bunch of views. So I'm not sure if, like, maybe other people were watching, and maybe it was just, like, they were testing out a bunch of my videos, and they were just picking different ones. I don't know. But, I don't know if you guys like that. I thought it was something interesting, because I like numbers, and, you know, I like seeing what's going on with the channel. So next time, when I do this again, I'll be doing it in, like, 60 days or so. 60 days, I'll have to do the math, but it'll be 90 days from last month's 12th. Yeah, so I was like,
July?
April, May, yeah, April 12th 90 days from there.
So, mid-July.
Yeah. I'll see what happens. We'll figure it out. But nonetheless, the idea is that I'm going to try doing it like that, and then I'll explain to you what happened in the last 90 days, and then I will explain to you guys... Or maybe I can just do it from the 90 days from now. But anyway. And then, I will tell you what the lifetime stuff is. So if any of that has changed, the top 10's pretty much. See if, they've gotten up higher or if they've gotten lower. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yep.
Okay, so, my horde. See you next time.